We finally now got the full version of the Justin Laboy, the Download podcast interview with Ye for Bully. We're going to talk about it today, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. Real quick, if you don't want to listen to this, make sure to skip 10 seconds into the future, but you can now sign up for my free newsletter with the first link in the description. It comes every Sunday and recaps everything that's been happening in hip-hop over the past week, so make sure to do that. So we finally got the full version on Justin Laboy's YouTube channel. We don't just have those clips from the after party from the Grammys, which really were toaster quality. We didn't understand a single word aside from that he's using AI, but there is quite a bunch of stuff that Kanye and Justin were talking about in this video. So we're going to be talking about it. It's going to be pretty dense with information, but it's also very interesting. So first of all, I want to say it's only about 30 minutes in length, which is less than what I think we got last time. We also have a very healthy looking Ye. It's looking really good. It seems also like he's more determined in the clips that we see, because that's another interesting fact about this interview. It's not just the two of them sitting there. It is, like we previously predicted, also behind the scenes videos or scenes from them just in this warehouse in Japan. So it's really interesting. Take a look at the interview if you get a chance, just for some rants from Ye, just from some behind the scenes look at the creation of this album. It's really interesting. But Ye is also back in some of the scenes to his old erratic mode of just screaming around how he's the best ever. So we got old Ye back, I guess. So we start out with them talking about Japan and Ye saying that Bianca always tells him that he was an emperor in a past life and that's why he likes Japan so much. Then we go over to North. They talk about North's new album, how he's teaching her, how he's helping her create her album. We also get some new snippets from North's album. That is also really amazing. I like that. And he also talks about the title Bully also connected to his kids. He says that the album is called Bully because his son was bullying another child. And then he asked his son why he was doing it. And his son said because he was weak. And then he goes on to say that we have negative connotations for the word bully and that he wants to break those. I'm still not very sure about it. I get the story with his son and how he was talking about being a bully, but it really doesn't explain to me what he's now trying to do with the title. Anyway, another thing is obviously the release date, June 15th. They talked about it. North was sitting right there with them, at least off camera, but they panned to her one time. And, you know, he was saying that he was going to be dropping in June. So Ye talked about Bully. And then Justin Laboy asked if it was going to be his birthday, Kanye's, or North's. We now know that it was going to be North's because he did confirm this at the after party. It's on the 15th. But it is because Yeezus literally dropped on North's birthday. So, and Yeezus is North's favorite album, which is also news to us. I guess it's a great album. And that's the reason why Kanye said that he should be dropping Bully on her birthday, so June 15th. Honestly, it didn't even seem like it was a matter of scheduling or missing deadlines. It wasn't like, you know, he was having a release date that far in the future because he still needed to finish the record. It honestly seemed like it was just because of the symbolic meaning. So the album might actually already be done. Now, he also talked about his name being changed to Ye and criticized everybody that was still using Kanye in titles. Shout out to me, man. But, you know, it's just, he says it's about respect and all of that. I get it. I get it. A lot of you remind me every time. I still think that we can use Kanye. It's his name. I know he legally changed it, but it's really just what a lot of people know him under. And I mean, Ye is an abbreviation for Kanye. It was like his nickname before he changed it. It's like Jay-Z, you know, legally naming himself to Hove, and we just have to then call him Hove. Like, you know, we can do it. Anyway, then he goes on to talk about Quentin Miller and the creation of Vultures. At least he was talking about how Quentin Miller had a great talent for ghostwriting songs, and they can immediately go into, you know, just be the lyrics for a record. And then he also doesn't really acknowledge how bad Vultures was. He talks about Vultures in pretty good, you know, sentiment. So we're not sure if he learned from the mistakes, at least when it comes to AI. He obviously didn't. We're going to be talking about AI in a second as well. But that was really something that stood out to me. Then, obviously, as I just said, he moves on to AI. He says that auto-tune is in the same family as AI, which a lot of people would quickly also disagree with, because autotune alters a pre-existing vocal and AI can just create them. So that is a big difference, at least to me as well. He also says that at least on the production side, in the back end, they use it to stem separate samples, which I guess is a pretty good, use case. And that's what a lot of you said also, that it doesn't have to be vocals. You can also use AI to just separate stem, files, or separate the stems from a sample, which is obviously very useful. And I don't see any problem in the use of AI in that. But the problem is that Kanye also, in the interview, we have the clip again of him obviously telling his engineer to just put his voice over the one that was on the reference track. And this is where it gets problematic, that a lot of people are mad about. Nobody is mad about the use of AI in stem separating samples. We're mad about the use of AI in Kanye not recording the vocals himself. I think we need to be very clear about that. And it seems like Kanye didn't really understand this. He talked about AI being this great new evolution. It went from nobody liked samples when they first came out, then nobody liked auto-tune, and this is just the next step. But as I said, there is a difference. Anyway, one thing that also stood out, he praised Trackster for using AI on vultures. We obviously don't, at least fully, homogeneously like Trackster in the Kanye community, because he butchered some of the songs on Vultures 2 and was also involved with the patches, the AI patches as well for Vultures 2. So it's kind of weird that Kanye praises him this much. It seems like he's in tune with what the people are saying. He also knew about the Tyler, the Creator, That Guy remix from Kendrick, which I know it's kind of out there, but I didn't think that he was going to reference that he was this up to date, because Kanye can sometimes get lost in creative processes. But he knows what's going on, but then he just goes against it. So that's just Kanye. Anyway, while Trackster is obviously not a good sign, we did get the confirmation that Mike Dean was also going to be on Bully. We kind of knew this by the pictures they posted, but now Kanye said that Mike Dean will be on there. And I think that is just great news overall. Now, one of the most interesting parts in this interview was him talking about his bipolar disorder, which he figured out wasn't bipolar. His wife, Bianca, actually took him to a doctor, and he got diagnosed not with bipolar disorder, but with autism. So he has a certain type of autism that leads to the behavior that we know from Ye, doing exactly the opposite of what people tell you, being this erratic, getting these episodes of just wanting to create stuff. So we know that he's not bipolar anymore. He's actually autistic, which is just, it's interesting, man. That's something that we didn't know. And after this, he also goes on to talk about Kendrick. They talk about the beef, the Kendrick and Drake beef, and Kanye really praises Kendrick. He, at least for once, we talked about this already, said that Kendrick now killed his nemesis, Drake, so there can't be any good more movies between him and Drake, which is kind of funny. But he says that Kendrick is like the best rapper, and that we need to learn from Kendrick. And he talked about, Drake pushing the culture forward, Future pushing the culture forward. Now we need to learn from Kendrick because of what he did over the past year. So those were pretty, good things about Kendrick, which I did like to see. So all in all, this interview was really interesting. He talked about so many different interesting things. We got so many great behind the scenes snippets and just clips of them in this Japanese warehouse that I think we can go back to a lot more. They also showed some new clothes. They talked about a couple of interesting things. So if you're a Ye fan, you can definitely go check out that interview. But this is kind of what they talked about in its entirety. But if you have any more additions to this, please let me know in the comments. In general, let me know what you think about the entire interview, about the things they talked about, and also what do you think that Bully is going to be like now that we know he's using AI, and he kind of explained it to us that he's using it with great determination and conviction. Let me know all your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.